Martin Bormann, a prominent figure in Nazi Germany, played a crucial role in 1939, serving as the chief of the party chancellery. He was known as a close associate and powerful lieutenant of Adolf Hitler. His influence and position were paramount in the Nazi regime during that period. Bormann was born in 1900 and had begun his rise through the Nazi ranks in the 1920s. He had served a year in prison for his role in the Beer Hall Putsch, a failed coup attempt by the Nazis in 1923. This early commitment to the Nazi cause and his loyalty to Hitler helped him to secure a prominent role in the party's hierarchy. By 1939, Bormann was already managing the massive bureaucratic apparatus of the Nazi Party. He had the ability to control the flow of information and access to Hitler, a power that made him both feared and respected. Hitler trusted Bormann, viewing him as extremely loyal, and this trust gave Bormann the chance to consolidate his power. In 1939, the Nazi regime was preparing for the invasion of Poland, which marked the beginning of World War II. Bormann, although not directly involved in military strategy, played an important role in maintaining the political infrastructure that supported the war effort. In his position, Bormann was privy to and involved in the planning of major initiatives, including the invasions of Poland and other countries. He often played the role of an enforcer, ensuring that the Nazi Party's directives were implemented across the various institutions of the German state. Bormann was also responsible for managing the party's finances, which were used to fund the Nazi regime's war efforts. He controlled the access to and distribution of party funds, an authority that gave him enormous influence over the party and its activities. Bormann was involved in the implementation of the Holocaust. In 1939, he signed a decree that expanded the powers of the Reich Central Office for Jewish Emigration, which was central to the final solution, the systematic murder of Europe's Jews. His authorization and involvement in such decisions underscored his place in the hierarchy of those responsible for the atrocities committed by the Nazi regime. His influence reached its peak during this period when Hitler began to increasingly isolate himself from the rest of the party. Bormann seized this opportunity to become Hitler's gatekeeper, controlling who had access to the Führer and effectively becoming the intermediary between Hitler and the rest of the Nazi Party. Bormann was not a charismatic figure. Unlike other Nazi leaders, he did not seek public attention or engage in elaborate public speeches. He was known for his bureaucratic skills and his ability to navigate the inner workings of the Nazi Party. In 1939, Bormann's personal life mirrored his increasing political power. His wife, Gerda, gave birth to their 10th child, and they lived in opulence thanks to the wealth Bormann accumulated from his position. Bormann and his family resided at Obersalzberg near Hitler's mountain retreat, further cementing his proximity and access to Hitler. His influence extended to the cultural sphere as well. Bormann supported Hitler's vision of an Aryan master race and backed policies to promote this idea. He was involved in planning and implementing policies that discriminated against those considered racially impure according to Nazi ideology. Bormann was a key figure in maintaining the internal cohesion of the Nazi Party. His relentless commitment to Hitler's vision and his ruthless enforcement of party discipline were essential in maintaining the unity and focus of the party during the chaos of war. In terms of foreign policy, Bormann played a behind-the-scenes role, providing Hitler with advice and managing the bureaucracy that executed the Führer's orders. His role was instrumental in ensuring that the machinery of the Nazi state functioned smoothly to execute Hitler's vision of expansion and racial purity. Despite his power, Bormann was not universally liked within the Nazi Party. His direct and abrasive manner, along with his unrestricted access to Hitler, caused resentment among other high-ranking Nazis. Many saw him as a dangerous individual who could manipulate Hitler's decisions. However, such resentment did not diminish his power. In fact, his position became increasingly important as World War II progressed. With the Nazis waging a brutal and expansive war, Bormann's administrative abilities became even more crucial to maintaining the Nazi regime. 1939 marked a turning point for Bormann. From managing the Nazi Party's bureaucracy, he evolved into one of the most influential figures within the regime, operating in Hitler's innermost circle. His signature on key documents and decrees underscored his role in executing some of the most horrendous crimes of the Nazi era. By the end of 1939, Bormann had firmly established himself as a significant player within the Nazi Party. He had gained Hitler's trust, controlled the party's finances, and played a key role in implementing the policies that led to World War II and the Holocaust. Bormann's actions in 1939 had far-reaching consequences. The atrocities committed under his watch would come to define the Nazi era and leave an indelible mark on human history. His power and influence made him one of the central figures in one of history's darkest periods. Martin Bormann's role in 1939 is a chilling example of how unchecked power and ruthless ambition can contribute to the most horrific human rights abuses. His story serves as a warning of the dangers of totalitarian regimes and the importance of protecting and upholding democratic values and human rights.